Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Article comes to you guys from Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So AT&T hit a huge milestone, and they are way ahead of targets and build-out targets. How did they achieve this? I mean, we've discussed this in plenty of videos, backtracking to last year and even the year before that. They've invested less into wireless out of the capex, and they invested more into fiber. And what did that lead to? Currently, AT&T is halfway towards its latest targets, which is 60 million homes passed by 2030, and they're 6 months ahead of the current build targets. So AT&T says they have already reached 30 million locations 6 months ahead of schedule, and that's fiber to the prem. So they're definitely moving at a pace, and that pace was created by investing less on wireless and more into fiber. And we will see that continue, right? We will see that continue throughout the years. AT&T is very, very focused, highly focused on fiber. Now, I'm not saying that wireless is not going to get anything. As I said, whatever resources, and they're going to be disciplined. AT&T is going to be very disciplined at this. Whatever resources they do allocate towards wireless, they're going to really prioritize, right? So, as I've said before, if a market has wireless and fiber, right, and the fiber passings and penetration has allowed the wireless network to grow market share, guess what? That market is going to get more local funding for wireless. It's just naturally going to happen. And the same goes with all the other markets, right? And then the markets where they may not have fiber and the wireless isn't doing too well on growth and market share, guess what? That market is going to receive less wireless money. It's not hard to figure out, guys. It's really not hard to figure out, right? So it's a very simple, at least for AT&T, it's very clear and simple how they're moving, right? Convergence is the big target. And the only way that you really make that efficient and effective, you have to move in a very disciplined manner, right? They're not going to go and say, hey, we're going to deploy $2 billion into this market where we have no wireless share, right? That makes no sense. And kind of, it's really kind of the same for Verizon and T-Mobile. They have just so happened to be more wireless efficient, right? So they have, in most of these markets where AT&T struggles, Verizon and T-Mobile have all of the share on the postpaid side. So the only way for AT&T currently to grow is to be more aggressive, right? That's at least what you would think. Be more aggressive in the markets where you have lower share and then build a wireless network. But AT&T is not thinking that way. AT&T is thinking where we have fiber, we grow wireless, and that's where we will invest, right? And that just got an even bigger investment because of Lumen. Once that closes, now, hey, I have to invest more wireless money into Ocala. I have to invest more wireless money into Seattle. I have to put more in Salt Lake City. I have to put more in Denver. Why? Because I have fiber assets that I'm going to penetrate, more homes passed, and by the numbers, that's going to grow the wireless share. And it's not something we have to look at, think at, break down, analyze. We can look at the numbers. 40% convergence. That's all you need to know. 40% convergence, it leads to wireless growth anywhere that they have fiber and wireless, right? Even if it's a slower growing share, it's still going to grow, right? Some markets, it might be explosive. In other markets, it may be slower, staggered, like year-over-year growth, but it will grow. That's what AT&T is telling us by looking at the numbers. So let me know your thoughts on this. Huge milestone hit. They hit 30 million homes passed, halfway to their big goal by 2030, and they did the 30 million 6 months ahead of time. So by the end of this year, who knows where they'll be? 32, 33, 34 million homes passed. I mean, who knows, right, how much ambition they have. Or maybe, just throwing it out there, since they're so far ahead of schedule, 6 months, maybe they do invest a little more this year on wireless and get even more acceleration on the C-band DoD deployment and the Nokia to Ericsson conversions, right? That could be a possibility, right? I'm not downplaying that, right? Any market right now that's Nokia, regardless of market share, whatever, is on high priority because they want to get that project done. They want to get modernized. They want to get the Ericsson equipment on there, CRAN, DAS, tower, whatever it is. They want to get the Nokia equipment off and the Ericsson equipment on it. So this being that far ahead of schedule might allow them to take more CapEx and say, hey, we can invest more on wireless and accelerate that deployment since we're so far ahead on the wireless, the fiber targets. So again, plenty of opportunity, a lot of flexibility for AT&T. We'll see what they do. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.